Okay, can you hear me well? Okay, so I will start. So hi everyone, thank you for the ones that joined. I'm happy to present you today our story, our company and our product. Our company is called TytoCare. TytoCare is an Israeli startup, already quite a large one. That basically we are a telehealth company and we have developed an on-demand physical exam that enables anyone, consumers and professionals to do a complete comprehensive physical exam from home. So before we begin, just to give the background about telehealth. Telehealth in terms of primary care is definitely a hot trend right now. Everyone wants it, the need is clear, everyone to do everything from home. So the need is clear, but eventually people still do not take advantage of the capabilities today. People are still go physically to the doctor, want to get the same experience, the same examination as they used to have for many years. And eventually, today's capabilities that telehealth providers provide phone calls, and today we have video calls, but this is still not enough. People are still not using it because of different reasons. One of them is lack of trust. People want to make sure the doctor, my kids or me, got the full examination, the full level of care I'm expecting it. And so the clinical quality using just phone calls or video calls is not enough. So this is exactly where Tyto comes in. TytoCare, we have developed, Ofer, can you bring me the device from here? So we have developed a medical device, FDA cleared and CE cleared, which basically enables, thank you, a remote physical exam. This is a full kit that have a throat exam, lungs exam with a stethoscope, heart exam, ears exam, temperature, skin. All the capabilities that a physician used to have in his clinic are now provided as part of a telehealth encounter. And by using those tools, we are virtually replicating the in-clinic experience. We are not, the doctor will, using those tools, will be able not only to talk with you and see you, he can also examine you and will not compromise on the level of care you get from home. We were founded in 2012, 6 years ago. We are selling now for almost 2 years since we got the FDA. Our main market today is in the US, where telehealth is definitely mature. But now Europe is closing the gap and many countries are now, like Germany, France, UK, and the Nordics, are now starting to have a hot trend of telehealth as well. You can see here a glimpse about some of our customers, our major health provider in the US, in Israel, like Clalit, and insurance companies. Those are our customers that already provide care using our system. So we have the CE mark now, so we are just launching in Europe. This is why we came to Medica, to find our partners and start to penetrate to all regions. So a little bit more explanation about what our product can do. So it's a full platform. Okay, the heart of the system is the medical device that enables the examination, but behind it, in order to really provide the physician the same experience, the same confidence, the same trust in the tools that he used to have when he's starting the patient, there is a need for a full platform that enables to stream and to transmit the data from the point of care, from the home, to the physician who can be anywhere in a different country, at his home or in the clinic. Another advantage of Tyto, which makes us unique, is that this is not only a professional tool, it's also for consumers. We have developed algorithms and user experience with a lot of software, a lot of development to allow anyone, moms, dads, anyone who is not a healthcare professional to do those type of exams. Because throat exam, ear exam, heart exam, lung exam, those are examinations which are unique to Tyto because usually they require some skills, knowledge that are done only by doctors. And what Tyto, and this is why it's a real revolution, because those type of examination can be done now consumers using our capabilities. I will show it to you in a video in a few minutes. So it's a full HIPAA compliant and GDPR compliant platform, and we support two methods of communication. One is asynchronous, we call it examine forward. You can do the examination and send for a doctor for a later review. or live telehealth visit where the doctor see you, talk with you, and also examine you or your kids together. And of course, we have APIs and integration capabilities to integrate with existing EHR. So eventually, at the end of the visit, your recordings, your heart sounds or lung sounds, your ears or throat or skin images are part of your medical record together with your history. So the advantage of Tyto is that, today with phone calls or video calls, you can treat some portion of the type of complaints, of type of illnesses. But still, the majority requires a physical visit, and this is the disadvantage of telehealth today. And by having this device at home, we really expand the number of complaints that could be treated remotely, and thus we reduce the cost for the health providers, we reduce the loads on the ER, urgent care centers, and we really, our target is really to save any one of you the need to go to the doctor. And you can see here just an example of the type of conditions that could be treated with our solution. And really our vision is that in next year or in a few years, anyone, as today people are not going to the banks anymore, not going to the supermarket anymore, and do everything from the smartphones. So our vision is that for the regular stuff, you go to the pediatrician or to your GP or family physician. For those day-to-day illnesses, you will not go anymore to the doctor. You will use your Tyto device, use your Tyto app, connect with the physician, get the same level of care without any compromise. I want to show you one of our unique capabilities of enabling anyone to do a physical exam. Again, this is unique to Tyto because it is a bit challenging. We call it Examine Forward, and we have built-in guidance that helps you. Can you play it? No. 1 second. How do you play it? Okay, sorry, thank you. So what you see here, you see the left-hand side, our Tyto app, and now this is how the mom is examining the kid for otitis media, for an infection. You see, we have algorithms that help her go through the canal and to know this is the image she needs to achieve. We have algorithm using image processing that looking for the right anatomy to make sure that when this video will get to the physician, it will really enable a diagnosis. Same goes here. Also for the throat examination, we have a built-in camera with a tongue depressor. So also here, the mom have some animation that helps her how to do the exam. And also, once we identify the tonsils and the ovula and make sure that the kid open his mouth wide enough, stick out his tongue, we need to make sure this will enable a diagnosis. We really want to verify, we will save you the visit to the doctor. Last example is here is the lungs exam. Using our stethoscope, it's a digital stethoscope. So in the lung exam, there are importance where you locate it exactly on the different lung lobes. Same goes for the stethoscope. You need to locate it on the right location according to the heart valves. So we are helping the patients to know where to locate it on the body, and we also make sure that we have algorithms that listen to the heart sounds or to the breathing sounds to verify we catch it in a high quality way. So it's a full platform. You can see how it looks from the physician side. We have a physician web app that enables him full remote control of the device. So what you will see here is an example of the live telehealth exam. Doesn't work. One less chart. Maybe you can press it. Play. Doesn't work. Well, Justin, in the live mode, the physician is in remote control. He sees the patient, he talks with the patient, and he controls the device remotely. So that the mother or father are doing the examination together with the physician. Okay. So about our product line, so we have mainly 2 or 3 product lines. One is for professional use. Professional means it could be a nurse, goes to homes, or a nurse in long-term care, or nursing homes, or in clinics in rural areas where you do not have a doctor. Basically, anywhere that you do not want to bring a doctor physically, you can bring a nurse or even a technician or a medical assistant, In using Tyto Pro or Tyto Clinic, the doctor, it's like you almost has brought the doctor in front. So this is for professional use, and Tyto Home is for consumer use. Okay, I will give you some examples about our existing experience, both in clinical studies and in real usage at the US and Israel. So this is an example about a customer that used Tyto today in the US called CRHI, Center for Rural Health Innovation. And he has a telehealth program for schools in rural areas of the US. And until Tyto, it had a lot of costs of having like medical telemedicine cards that were very expensive. They were not transportable, and they had difficulties in integration. So they replaced it with a Tyto Pro or a Tyto Clinic mobile kit. And this nurse enabled to treat 20 schools using 10 of our devices. They've used it for about a year now, done a lot of visits, and the satisfaction rate is very high. They managed to reduce their cost and see much more 4-time coverage of the number of schools, and reduce the number of kids or students that had to go to the clinic and lose time and lose hours and lose money. So a lot of advantages. This is one example of a professional use case. Another example is one of the, let's say, largest health provider in the world, largest HMO in the world. Also used Tyto Clinic Mobile for her nurses that visiting homes. Instead of sending doctors physically to the homes, they are sending nurses. And now with Tyto, the doctor can save those unnecessary visits to the doctors. That bringing a doctor physically has a lot of costs, a lot of the availability of doctor is reduced, long waiting times. So the service by the HMO was not as satisfying as expected. And now using Tyto, they can do with the same resources, with the same number of healthcare professionals, get 4 times patient visits. So the waiting time decreased, the cost decreased, and also they managed to reduce the number of ER visits using Tyto. Another example is a clinical study we've done in the Chicago area with children with medical complexities. These are children that are that has a lot of costs for the health provider. Although they account only for 6% of the population, the expenses are 40% of Medicaid expenses. So this health provider look to reduce those costs, especially to reduce the number of ER admissions and ER evacuations with ambulances to the hospitals. So they gave the parents of those children, each one of them a Tyto kit, and doctors managed to do remote monitoring and to take care of their health, including one time even managed, there was a parent that the kid had shortness of breath, which was apparently quite severe, and the parent was not aware of that, and because using Tyto, the remote doctor managed to identify it and call an ambulance, and the doctor said most likely the kid was not be able to survive till morning. So in terms of cost reduction, during this pilot of 6 months, they shown a reduction in cost of $21,000 per kid, okay? And they had a control group, so this is how they compared it, that the Tyto group versus the control group had much lower cost in terms of admissions and evacuation with ambulances. Last thing I want to describe is our experience with Clalit. Clalit is the largest health provider in Israel, and by the way, the second largest HMO in the world. It has almost 5 million members that get all their healthcare from Clalit. It has 14 hospitals, 1,400 clinics, 11,000 doctors. They're huge, also in a worldwide perspective. And they are doing telehealth for quite a few years now, using mainly phone calls. They added video calls during the last years. And now, during the last 4 months, they've added Tyto, the Tyto service, they call it. And they are offering Tyto to all their patients. Already, a few thousand devices were deployed. And they see high satisfaction rates. Their incentive is in several ways. One is to reduce the number of ER visits. They know, they have some statistic that above 70% of ER visits are not really emergency. They could have waited for a clinic visit, and they wanted to save those unnecessary visits to the ER. So they believe and aim to having TITO for each of their members, they can reduce this number of unnecessary visits dramatically. And of course, they want to, differentiate them from the competitors, be more innovative, etc. So until now, we had more than 400 telehealth visits by consumers at homes, kids, elderly people, all type of patient population in rural areas of Israel and in the city, and we have very high success rate and very high satisfaction rates. Okay, last thing is another clinical studies we've done 2 years ago is to make sure that the clinical quality provided by the examination of our device are as good and make sure that the doctors are satisfied and do not feel they are compromising in terms of the clinical quality. So we have done 2 studies like that. One is Schneider, where they compared the data provided by TITO to the regular physical exam done by an ER physician. The findings were compared using statistical analysis, and they showed very high agreement between the results. No findings was missed by TITO, and this is proven, and the bottom line of this study was that TITO was as good and as safe as the regular physical exam. So this gave Clalit and us the trust that this device, the clinical quality of the images, the sounds, the videos, is not lower than the regular physical visit. And also at UVA, University of Virginia, the US, they compared us with other telemedicine solutions, other stethoscope and other otoscope, which is more for professional use and are much more expensive. So they compare the clinical quality, the images and sound, and also it is shown that is even better than those high costly and professional tools. So this is it from my side. We're really looking forward, to start active in Europe. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions? Thank you very much.